Two superpowers, one African nation, billions at stake. In the heart of East Africa, a silent battle is unfolding, one that will determine not just the fate of a country, but the direction of global industries for decades to come. The United States and China are locked in a fierce, quiet competition, not for land, but for critical minerals. These minerals are the building blocks of the modern world, essential for everything from smartphones to electric vehicles, satellites to wind turbines. Kenya, rich in these resources, is now a key player in a global race that will shape the future of technology and energy. Its soil holds the promise of prosperity, but also the risk of exploitation and environmental challenges. This is the new, great game, fought with investments and infrastructure, not armies. Roads, railways, and ports are being built at a breakneck pace, transforming Kenya's landscape and connecting its resources to the world. As the world shifts to green energy and advanced tech, minerals like cobalt and rare earths have become strategic assets. The demand for these elements is skyrocketing, making control over their supply more important than ever before. Control over these resources is now a matter of national security for both Washington and Beijing. Each side is determined to secure access, fearing that dependence could leave them vulnerable in times of crisis. Kenya faces a monumental choice: remain a raw material supplier, or leverage this rivalry to build its own industries and secure its future. The decisions made today will echo for generations, shaping jobs, education, and the nation's place in the world. For China, mineral dominance is vital for its high-tech ambitions. Securing a steady flow of resources ensures its factories keep running and its innovation engine keeps humming. For the US, breaking that dominance is crucial for its own security. America is investing heavily, seeking partnerships and alliances to ensure it isn't left behind in the next industrial revolution. Kenya must balance these powers, using diplomacy and strategy to avoid dependency. The challenge is to turn competition into opportunity, without sacrificing sovereignty or the environment. The world is watching. Kenya's decisions will set a precedent for other resource-rich nations. How it navigates this moment could inspire or caution countries across Africa and beyond. The stakes could not be higher. Kenya stands at a crossroads with the power to shape not only its own destiny, but the future of global industry. What are critical minerals, and why do they matter? They're the vitamins of the global economy, small in quantity, essential in impact. Your smartphone, electric car, and wind turbine all depend on them. The green energy transition is driving demand for lithium, cobalt, and rare earths. Without these minerals, efforts to combat climate change would stall. They're also vital for national defense. Modern weapons and communication systems rely on them. Governments now see securing these minerals as a top strategic priority. But having minerals isn't enough. The real value comes from mining, processing, and integrating them into global supply chains. For Kenya, the challenge is to move beyond extraction and capture more value at home. That's the heart of today's geopolitical contest. Kenya is better known for its breathtaking safaris and iconic wildlife than for its mineral wealth. Tourists flock to the Masai Mara to witness the Great Migration, and the country's natural beauty is celebrated worldwide. Yet beneath these stunning landscapes lies a hidden fortune, vast reserves of critical minerals that are increasingly vital to the global economy. In the coastal region of Kwale, mines already produce titanium and rare earth elements, essential for everything from smartphones to electric vehicles. Meanwhile, exploration teams are uncovering promising deposits of cobalt, copper, and coltan in other remote regions, minerals that power batteries, electronics, and renewable energy technologies. These discoveries have sparked a surge of international interest. Investors and mining companies from around the world are eager to tap into Kenya's resources, hoping to secure supplies for the industries of tomorrow. But history offers a cautionary tale. Across Africa, the so-called resource curse has left many nations rich in minerals but poor in development, with profits flowing abroad while local communities are left behind. Today, Kenya stands at a crossroads. Will it repeat this pattern, or seize the opportunity to build the infrastructure, skills, and transparency needed to move up the value chain and ensure lasting prosperity? Achieving this vision means more than just extracting minerals. It requires reliable energy, modern ports, efficient railways, and a highly skilled workforce, foundations for a diversified and resilient economy. Both the United States and China are offering capital, technology, and expertise, but each comes with its own set of conditions and long-term implications for Kenya's sovereignty and development. The agreements Kenya negotiates today will shape whether its mineral wealth drives sustainable growth, creates jobs, and benefits its people, or simply perpetuates dependency on foreign interests. As the world's superpowers compete for influence, Kenya must weigh its options carefully and choose partners who support its long-term goals. With the right partnerships and policies, Kenya's mineral riches could transform its economy, lifting millions out of poverty and building a foundation for future generations. But if the wrong choices are made, the country risks falling into the same old traps, locked into cycles of exploitation and missed opportunity. China dominates the global mineral supply chain, refining most of the world's nickel, cobalt, and rare earths. These minerals are essential for everything from smartphones and electric vehicles to advanced military technology. Over the past 2 decades, China has quietly built a near monopoly on the processing and refining of these critical resources, making itself indispensable to the global economy. This didn't happen by accident. Beijing invested early, buying mines and building infrastructure across Africa and beyond. Chinese companies struck deals with governments, often providing loans and technical expertise in exchange for long-term access to mineral deposits. These strategic moves have allowed China to secure a steady flow of raw materials from some of the world's richest mining regions. China's grip on midstream processing gives it immense leverage over global markets. By controlling the facilities that turn raw ore into usable materials, China can influence prices, dictate supply, and even restrict exports if it chooses, giving it powerful bargaining chips in international trade. Even minerals mined elsewhere often end up in Chinese refineries before reaching global tech giants. This means that companies around the world, from Silicon Valley to Europe, rely on China's processing capacity to keep their supply chains running smoothly. In Africa, China's Belt and Road Initiative has built railways, ports, and power plants, often in exchange for resource access. These massive infrastructure projects have transformed local economies, making it easier to move minerals from remote mines to global markets. Kenya's standard gauge railway is a flagship example. Built with Chinese financing and expertise, it connects the interior of the country to the coast, streamlining the export of minerals and goods. Supporters see China as a partner in development. Critics warn of debt, dependency, and lack of transparency. The debate is fierce, with some praising the jobs and infrastructure, while others worry about the long-term costs and loss of control over national resources. The central question, is China a genuine partner or a new colonial power? As Chinese influence grows, African nations must weigh the benefits of rapid development against the risks of economic dependency. For Kenya, the answer will shape its future. The choices made today will determine whether the country thrives as a modern hub or faces new forms of external control. The stakes are high, and the world is watching. As the global demand for minerals grows, the outcome of this partnership will have ripple effects far beyond Africa's borders. The U.S., once passive, now sees Africa's minerals as vital to its own security. Washington's new approach isn't to outspend China, but to offer a different partnership, private sector-driven, transparent, and alliance-based. The Mineral Security Partnership pools resources from the U.S., UK, EU, and others to invest in responsible mining projects. For Kenya, this means access to Western investment, technology, and expertise. The U.S. encourages Kenya to process minerals locally, capturing more value and creating jobs. American support comes with transparency, environmental standards, and sustainable financing. The U.S. bets that African nations want alternatives to Chinese dependency. The race is on to see which model Kenya and Africa will choose. The U.S. and China offer Kenya 2 distinct paths. China's state-led model is fast and comprehensive, financing, construction, and guaranteed markets all bundled together. It avoids political interference, appealing to leaders seeking quick results. The U.S. model is slower, market-driven, and values transparency, environmental protection, and local job creation. American deals involve private companies, due diligence, and public disclosure. Chinese contracts are often opaque, raising concerns about fairness and corruption. Kenya must weigh speed and efficiency against transparency and long-term sustainability. The real challenge is to blend the best of both models. Kenya's smartest move may be to pick and choose, crafting deals that serve its own interests. The choice will define its development path for decades. Kenya is no longer just a pawn, it's a player with leverage. Competing offers let Kenya demand better terms and real commitments to local development. The goal, move up the value chain, process minerals at home, and create skilled jobs. This requires strategy, investment in education, and a stable, regulatory environment. Kenya must negotiate deals that build local industry, not just export raw materials. The choices made now will shape Kenya's future. Will it become a true economic engine or remain dependent on foreign powers? The world is watching as Kenya writes its own story. The stakes are high, but so is the potential reward. Kenya's next moves will echo far beyond its borders.